Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Star Citizen Addicts Anonymous 5 for Ben Lesnick. Hello, Ben. How's your week been going?
Hey, not too badly. Just working on 1-1, hoping to get it out very shortly.
Yeah, it's been 3 weeks that 2 weeks we've been waiting on it, right?
Yeah, well, we just got it in the PTU so people can play with most of it.
Yeah, I've been actually just running around my Retaliator for the last couple of days, just going, wow, I can't wait for this thing to fly. So I'm going to throw one at you real quick, and it's just a quickie. What was the thought process behind no Copilot at all on that ship? It's a big ship, lots of workload.
Which ship were we talking about?
The Retaliator.
Oh, Retaliator, right. Well, it's a cruise ship, so I think just thought was you'd switch out during long missions.
Okay. I always think redundant systems, That's something that I was like, wow, maybe it's upstairs. Maybe it's tandem. Maybe they sit down below. Nope, there's no Copilot. That's strange.
One thing I think that we found is we're starting to get into the balancing of the multi-cruise ship things.
Yeah.
And we're finding that probably the least fun seat position is Copilot. Just because it's literally saying, okay, here's the same game except you don't do anything. So we're trying to make everything fun.
That's because you have to give the Copilot something to do.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah, that's good though. I understand that, and that's exactly what I said in my review. It is a game, and it's got to be fun. And Copilot's not fun. All right, let's go to the first question. All right. Well, first off, you must have been working a lot last week. Did you have like a lot of design posts and stuff to get ready, or were you able to go to South by Southwest?
I did not make it up to South by Southwest.
That's home for you.
Not so much because I was busy, but more because I just hate South by Southwest. So.
Oh, I didn't want to goach into that one. Okay.
No, I lived in it's personal hate, not corporate hate. I lived at 9th Street in Austin for a year and a half, and it was the 1 week of a year where you didn't leave the apartment because there were a million social media douchebags outside your door.
Yep. Okay, so it's kind of like when Dragon Con comes to town.
But the people are worse. You go to that. Dragon Con is great because everybody is this huge geek, and you can start a conversation with anybody about something interesting. South by Southwest is a lot of people telling everybody else that they're experts at like search engine optimization. It's the people whose emails you delete as soon as you get them, all in one place.
SEO. God, I could use some of that for my show, but I won't spend that much money on it. Oh, and I expected that you would be like working long into the hours of the night getting that design post out, but it came out pretty much on time this week. Was it like holding weight?
That because we had it stocked already from the week before.
Okay, that's good. That's good because, the last couple you guys had probably last minute changes on, right?
Yeah, it's actually been, for us anyway, it's been a little bit quieter this past week. It's been nice.
All right. So you got a couple of big things coming our way. You got 1.1, you got the FPS, then you got social module, then you got 2.0, right?
Yep. Looking at 1.1 very soon, and FPS not too far after that.
Cool. I know that a lot of people are waiting for that one. All right. So John Pathfinder Ascon, I think that's how you say his name, he has this one, and he evidently wants to be a suicide bomber in the universe. He wants to pack up his ship, whether it be a freelancer or something, with antimatter. What he wants to know is my insurance honored if I fill my ship up with antimatter? Hey, James. And ram it into a Vanduul capital ship and blow it up?
No. The answer is no in the long run. We are looking at systems for kind of monitoring when people do that. You may get away with it once, but it's like setting your own apartment on fire. For the insurance money, they're going to catch you eventually, and then you won't have insurance anymore.
So that one was pretty cool because what he's talking about, it's for the greater good of humanity. He's taking out a Vanduul cap ship, but using his freelancer as a torpedo. And the second part of his question is, and when I die, will there be cutscenes for funerals, for pilot funerals, like there were in Wing Commander, like specifically in Squadron 42?
Oh yeah, that's a trope Chris Roberts invented. You wouldn't be anywhere without that.
All of a sudden, I have the music from it, and they're like, choo, 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 I loved it. I hated dying, but I liked the cutscene. Now, Premium Shank, which is Renegade Shank, he's actually right there in, well, not right there, but he's in Texas. He wants to know, will he be able to replace the bomb bays of his Tali with like kitchens, so he could have like the Roach Coach that comes to town and sells the coffee and donuts in someone's hangar?
Yes, the Retaliation is designed to be modular in that respect, so we're going to be able to just pull the bomb bay out and put something different in there, and you'll be seeing more of that with the variants.
Okay.
We don't specifically have a kitchen variant, but we do have like a camper type thing.
So you still have the apartment type thing that you were talking about in the original?
I can't promise for sure, but it's still around.
Okay.
It's floating back and forth as we work on those.
Okay, and this is one that I guess people didn't catch when we didn't have as many viewers, and it's just going to be a quickie for you. And this is from Jump Debris, and will we be able to sell things directly to another player, or will we have to go through a broker or auction house, that type of thing? For example, I want to sell my wife a Banu merchantman, for 1 credit or something like use credit for 1 use credit. I don't know. I guess he meant UE credit.
Yeah. So the answer is that yes, you will have the option to trade and sell things outside the system. If you don't have a bonded sale, it's not protected by the UEE. So if you're trading with your wife, she's probably not going to scam you. If you're going to go off and trade with random people, maybe stay safe and go through the UEE. They'll take a cut, but they'll guarantee payment, that sort of thing. So you have the option.
So kind of like Craigslist.
Yeah.
You can do it on your own, but you're not protected, and they might have a gun and take all your money.
I gave away a bird on Craigslist once, and it was I probably met the weirdest group of people in the world coming to look at free birds on Craigslist. So.
Maybe they thought they were coming to see Leonard Skinner. Free bird. Sorry, that was a bad joke, guys. Don't turn off. Okay, sorry about that one. Dirk Gently wants to know when we're going to be able to see things like the UEE insignia. Like the military insignia, what the rank insignias look like?
You'll be seeing a lot of that as we ramp up for Squadron 42.
I figured as much.
We're going to do a manual similar to Claw Marks. We know all the geeky, it's all the geeky stuff we want in the manual. So
I forgot to get that from you when I was out there.
I grew up with like the old Star Trek technical manual, Mr. Scott's Guide to the Enterprise, where they would have the different uniforms and all the stuff that wasn't in the show. We love that. We want to do that for Star Citizen. So
cool. And
you'll be seeing all that.
You're going to have bios in it of the people that we're going to meet?
Oh, yeah. The pilot bio.
What about Michael Iceman Casey? No, sorry. All right. So, Tigerheart, in today's Reverse the Verse, and this is from Thursday, okay? So this was collected from last Friday, I guess. In today's Reverse the Verse, they said new character models are coming, including female. Does this mean we get character customization at the same time?
Not to a significant degree. We'll get the different body types in there first. And,
okay.
You're going to see customization get built out just like anything else. As we see more and more ships in the game, as we see more and more weapons, it'll be the same for characters. More and more options, more and more customization as we go forward. So there'll be a point that we start going uphill. So it'll be very rudimentary at first. But we will get there.
All right, and oh God, I feel like you guys when I read names, Crisbin. I'll say Crisbin, Kryzbyn, Crisbin. Now he's late to the party, just joined up, and I know we talked about this a couple of times, not just here, but on the Reverse the Verse and on 10 for the Chairman. But again, it's coming. I see threads starting with this again, which are jump-capable ships. It's been said that all ships are jump-capable except for the ships that specifically are part of, like the Constellation or
like the Merlin and so on.
Yeah, the Archimedes Merlin. There was another one, the one that's on the 890. So is this true? All of them could have jump engines, including something like the M50.
Yes.
Okay. And some packages come with jump engines, some don't. It doesn't mean that they won't be able to buy it at some point in the game.
That's true, yeah. And if you think back to the original Privateer, they use the jump engine as sort of a tutorial. You start off in an easier system where you can pick up missions, learn the game, and then once you've earned the 10,000 credits for the jump drive, then you're free to go break it however you want, which is a great moment. I know a lot of people are frustrated when they have the idea of thinking they're limited, but it's a game design thing. It's getting you into the world.
Okay, and there's a little bit more with jump engines too. There's different specific types of jump engines, right? There's some that will create more, will draw more power, create more. Does it matter how much it creates? How much? Is it spool up time that I'm thinking of?
There's all sorts of different options. We have the idea of like a stealth jump drive that doesn't flash and identify you when you arrive in a system.
Okay.
And that would, power requirements would be different to balance it against other jump drives. Maybe you wouldn't have as many jumps from a single fueling. There'd be like long range jump engines where, the ship can make, 7 to 10 jumps without refueling versus, 3 to 4 for a normal jump drive.
Okay.
You want to balance it in all sorts of different directions. So you pick the one that meets your play style.
All right. And that's what I wanted to get out, because then at least they know that not all jump engines are created equal. Like if I'm flying my Cutlass, I definitely want that one you just talked about, that I could jump into a system and not be seen. That would be good.
Yeah, but they always had that in the fiction to Wing Commander, and it never actually did it in the game. So I definitely want to see that in Star Citizen.
Oh, good. That was good. Yeah, you get to bring back a lot of things that you were longing for in the next Wing Commander. What do you think about the planned Wing Commander-esque game from EA?
What, the Star Wars thing?
Well, no, somebody said that they were doing a Wing Commander game. I said Star Wars, and they said, no, it's like Wing Commander. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think they know about this yet.
I hadn't heard about that one. I heard they were doing a X-Wing game for Rogue One, but I don't know the details.
Yep. And Rogue One is that movie they just announced that's the in-between, right?
Yeah.
All right. And is that the one that David was working on?
I don't know.
All right. I know he was de-agifying the Millennium Falcon last I talked. All right. So the use system that's currently in place. You walk up to something, the little use key, functionality shows up, and you hit the F key. Is that something that's going to stay in the game, or is it a placeholder?
I think it's more of a placeholder.
I like the buttons. I like the buttons on the Cutlass.
If you go all the way back way early in the hangar, I think we didn't have nothing appeared where you were supposed to use it, and a lot of people were frustrated.
Yeah.
I know Chris wants actual tactile buttons in the game itself. He doesn't like the takes you out of the world overlay. So I would anticipate that being replaced by something else down the line.
Cool. I was hoping that would be the case. That was from Captain Gloom. And then, of course, our very own editor-in-chief of research, I guess that's what we'll call him, he wants to know, when Arena Commander 2.0 comes out, it seems safe to assume that we will eventually get to see the Freelancer, Redeemer, Retaliator constellations in there for us to practice on. But what about the Carrack, Banu Merchantman, or maybe the 890 Jump? Would there be any hope for those ships to enter AC? Is there a reason for them to enter AC?
Oh, yeah. We'll want to simulate all of them in AC eventually. Think of AC as the training simulator for Star Citizen down the line. If you want to, load up your sim pod and practice some maneuvers in your Banu Merchantmen, or if you have some great idea that you don't want to, actually go waste 10 billion credits of equipment battling pirates for, you load it up in AC and test it. The goal is to have everything in AC.
Okay.
Now,
that's perfect. Now, that brings on this other question, which is, Arena Commander as it stands is pretty fun. I mean, I've been having great times on Sunday nights with the enablers doing our Sunday nights of fun. In fact, I played for 5 hours this past Sunday with everybody. But I'm wondering if at some point AC is going to have the ability to build custom scenarios and have your own custom battles. Not just, let's just do this, but setting the stage like, would you be able to build your own maps or build your own scenarios that are going to be in the Arena Commander module?
Yes, to some degree, certainly. I'm thinking right now of like the old Chuck Yeager style, I would like to fight this number of ships in this scenario. I think we'll probably see that down the line. We're going to have historical missions from Squadron 42, so you want to go replay a classic battle, that would be in there. Okay. And as for, literally tearing apart the game and building something cooler than the maps we have, yes, that we want people to do that. And I imagine people are already figuring that out in CryEngine, but we'll give you
I thought so.
Eventually.
Yeah, I was hoping that you go down there. It is CryEngine, so there are tools and people could build their own scenarios. You have assets, you could put ships in different areas, and hopefully at some point make them NPC controlled, and you could do a co-op capture the Bengal carrier or something, you know? All right, that takes care of all them. Obviously, there were more than 5 questions, but a lot of them were easy answers today. My question for you is going to be about it's right now. It seems like every time there's a major design change, Chris is coming out to do somewhat of a secondary comment. Do you find that the way the game is being delivered to us, there's a lot of people that don't understand about the testing phase and what our actual job is at this point?
Yep.
So, I mean, how would you explain that to them? Like, what Arena Commander / Star Citizen is now? If it's not a game, that's complete. Like, we're just getting the final assets to say we're headed to alpha, right?
Yeah, Star Citizen is, those little pills that you put in water and they turn into a dinosaur as you watch them for like half an hour. We're in the stage where you can just sort of see like some foam sticking out of the pill. So we still have to wait for them to unfurl and then dry them off. I don't know why I picked this example because it's ridiculous, but yes, we're very early. You're watching Star Citizen come together in a way that you wouldn't any other game. This is we're not. If this were Call of Duty, we would not be at the point where you knew that we were making this game yet. Right. So you're seeing things before anyone ever would in a studio-produced game or a publisher-produced game.
And I find this a privilege, right? Because a lot of times games get made and you don't even get to see the things that weren't in the game. And the fact that Chris and you all have decided to bring us, the backers, the community, along with you for the ride, we get to see assets as they develop. Some come and stay, some come and go. Some change drastically, like the Constellation is going through its 2nd revamp. So
yeah, 3rd, I think. But
third,
my hope is that people will see the game, see the experience as worthwhile. You know, you're backing Star Citizen today because you want to see how all this works. You want to be part of the team. You want that inside view. Hopefully, even though the game is far away, we're entertaining people. We're including them. We're giving them value for their dollar, even though it's not the finished game yet.
Okay. That was perfect. I just wanted to get that one out because I read through the threads and I was reading everything about the gun mounts and I'm like, oh my God, people were freaking out. And, it pretty much subsided right after Chris's post. And I don't think people understand that, there are design changes. This was just evolutionary, not revolutionary, that you already had this down in mind. And it makes me just look at another game. When you look at Elite Dangerous, it has almost identical the system. When you buy a gimbaled weapon, it's always going to be lower powered than a fixed weapon because you have to account for the power of the gimbal and the extra CPU cycles, whatever that it takes to run that. And, that made sense to me as soon as Chris said it, but I think it's because I listened to all the 10 for the Chairman. He said things like that before. You and I got to talk, and I've talked to some other people, and it just made sense to me. So I'm glad that he was able to calm down everybody. That was a very good post by him.
Yeah, honestly, the part of the fun is the joy of being able to overreact to things like this.
Yeah.
It's you're part of something. Passionate backers, it's great.
Yeah, you wouldn't have it any other way, though, would you?
No. I want people to care so much about the game that they will argue with Chris Roberts when we make the tiniest change. I think that's fantastic.
And sometimes the things that they bring up do bring about change, like the change of where the cockpit was on the Orion, right? These things are good. Yeah. These things are good. All right, so I've kept you for almost 20 minutes, and I appreciate it.
Oh, not a problem.
Yeah, thanks for joining me each week, and I hope to talk to you a lot next week about what we have in 1.1. Are there any surprises that haven't been in the PTU?
Just Rec, I think because Rec doesn't work at the PTU website, but should be pretty close to what's on the PTU.
All right, great. Thanks, Ben. And with that said, folks, you all be safe out there, and I'll talk to you soon.